folks, welcome back to the channel. Pop Retro 1 at Twitter and Instagram, facebook.com/popretro. Wanted to quickly go through a big old box of new additions from Vinegar Syndrome and some partner labels from Vinegar Syndrome. And I'm sitting high, I'm walking tall, but by the end of this video, I'm probably going to be sitting low because this old office chair I've got is, you ever have that where you can't, it doesn't keep its level. It just kind of slowly goes down and down. You have to like reach down and pop it back up. I don't know what's wrong with it other than it's just old. So either way, if I can keep my head face in the frame, then we'll be okay, right? As long as you can see the discs. So, all right, let's get going. Here are mostly new releases from November of Vinegar Syndrome. A lot of this was from the Black Friday sale that happened recently. So up first, we've got from 1996, the great 90s, the edgy 90s, and this was as edgy as they come, and that is Freeway. Reese Witherspoon, Kiefer Sutherland, and show you some of these slip covers, the ones that are appropriate to show on YouTube. Now, I've gone through these and taken off the shrink wrap and also flipped around the reversible art on a lot of these. So here's the reverse art on the inside. This is a 4K UHD release from Vinegar Syndrome. It's a pretty wild movie. I was 19 or 20 when this came out. I was in college, and this was just one of those ones where we all loved Witherspoon, of course, and she's our age, my age, I think exactly to the year. There's a look at the discs. A Blu-ray also included, of course. And I think the other side art was just the same as what you saw on the slipcover, yeah. So, Freeway, amazingly, this one has never been released onto Blu-ray in high def. So, this is the first edition. I mean, maybe there is an edition overseas, non-North America, but I don't remember. I think this may be one that just finally got its first HD release. So, and of course, tons of special features on these, but I don't have time to go through them all because I got so many in this box, and I want to get through them all without jamming up all your time, because you got important things to do, I'm guessing. All right, up next from Vinegar Syndrome, we've got Burning Paradise. So this is, gosh, one of those action movies from, was this Hong Kong? I can't remember. I've never seen it. Considered one of director Ringo Lam's best and most underrated films, as well as his only foray into the wuxia genre. Yeah, I mean, I'm so clueless about these movies. I didn't grow up watching them, and so Vinegar Syndrome has been releasing a few of these here and there, and so I've been getting really excited to dig into these and check these out. I think, did I turn this one? I think I turned this art around too. So there's a look at that. Look at the back of the case, and got all that glare from my screen in front of me. Try to take some of that off. There's the disc. And it comes with I think it's a booklet. Yes, a little booklet, which I'll have to read so I can learn myself some of this. Burning Paradise, what a great title. This is from 1994, by the way. So 2 90s films right off the bat. 2 of the 4 regular releases from Vinegar Syndrome from the 90s. The other 2 are from the 80s. And up first we have, this one I gotta be careful showing, probably, maybe. It is Invisible Maniac. And I just lied, this isn't from the 80s, it's from 1990, so just into the 90s. So 3 90s films from Vinegar Syndrome. And this is also 4K UHD. And take a look, I have reversed the art, so that's actually the reverse side of the artwork on this 4K. There's a look at the back. And a look at the discs. I guess I can show that. I mean, you're here watching this. It is a Vinegar Syndrome video. So you know what you're getting, right? And finally, the only 80s release, not counting the set. There's a set also that I'm showing after this, but the 4 singles releases. And this one from 1986, I believe, 1986. It is Evil Laugh. Boom. I love it when they release these old school slashers, these obscure VHS, video store, USA Up All Night slashers. There's the reversible art. And there's a look at the back. Especially from the 80s and into the 90s. That was really my era where I just loved going and spending all my time, all my days in the video store or staying up all night watching cable TV. There's the inside, there's the disc. And most of this stuff, of course, has just languished on old VHS. And some of these have gotten, you know, the Vinegar Syndrome releases. Some of them have gotten DVD releases over the years, but so many of them were either just VHS and forgotten about, or maybe gotten a DVD and forgotten about. So it's nice to see some of these being brought back. So up next from Vinegar Syndrome proper. Now this is a 3-movie set. It is Homegrown Horrors Volume 2. So this, it's a nice, look at that box. These boxes are always, they're so nice. They take up a little space, but they're really, really nicely done. Now the Homegrown Horrors are generally regional, low-budget regional horrors, but shot on film. Vinegar Syndrome only releases stuff that was shot on film. So, so that's what you can expect with these. So let's take a look at each of the titles inside. Up first we have, if I can get them to come out, come on. Hanging Heart. We'll lead off with Hanging Heart from 1989. Look at the back. There's the disc. And I'll show you the reversible art. You can see it through the case. So there's the front. There's the reverse. Up next, we've got sort of the more, I think, popular or famous one of this set, because these are really obscure, but as far as like chatter online and things, this one people seem to be more excited about. Also from 1989, it is Moonstalker. I think this was shot in Nevada. It's set in Nevada, Reno, which I visited many times and even had relatives that lived there. So that'll add a little bit to the viewing experience. I've never seen Moonstalker, I don't think. A lot of these movies I start watching and go, oh, I totally remember that scene. So I must have seen this when I was 15 or something, you know. There's the reverse art. And finally, the last of the Homegrown Horrors. All right, am I saying it right? Yeah, Homegrown Horrors, Volume 2. We've got They're Not Alive, They Are Dead Girls, which looks really, really fun, by the way. That's an all-girl rock band called the Dead Girls. And this looks like a very scary adventure that the Dead Girls have. There's the disc. And I will take the disc out, show you the reverse art. And there's the old school VHS art, I'm guessing. So, 3 movies, Homegrown Horrors, Volume 2, which means there was a Volume 1 that came out, I think it came out maybe, it's been over a year ago, maybe even 2 years ago. It's taken a while to get Volume 2 out, so now there are 6 total films in the Homegrown Horror series. There's a look, there's how that box unboxes, in case I didn't show you how it looks. There's the other side. So yeah, very nice, very hard box. All right, so those are the regular line Vinegar Syndrome releases for November 2022. Up next, we've got the Vinegar Syndrome Archive. Vinegar Syndrome's homage to the video store days. Forgotten lost video store gems, although a lot of these that they've come out with in this line don't exactly fit that milieu. So sometimes I think it's just a place to put other movies out there that maybe they feel don't fit into the main line. At any rate, this is definitely video store fodder from the 90s, and we've got Cynthia Rothrock, Sworn to Justice. Vinegar Syndrome Archive, look at that artwork. And these are the hard case, of course, and the bottom loading slip covers to mimic the feel of your old VHS days when they came out of the bottom. These are numbered, by the way, out of 5,000. I have number 1,399. So I'm not even close to number one. I think the closest I've gotten to a number one on a VSA was like, I don't know, I think I was in the top 300 on one of them or something, but I can't remember. I'll have to do a video on all the VSAs and take the edition numbers into account. So here's the disc itself. Or the case, I should say. There's the disc itself, and it has the poster. Inside, I won't undo the poster in this. And there's a look at the, well, I just showed you the disc. There's the art, which just, you know, the art mimics both sides of the hard case slipcover. And of course, since it's a VSA, which is the tight fit, I have gotten into the habit of using the paper trick so that I don't ruin the case. The plastic on the case tends to snag on some of these. So using just a piece of paper, very nicely done. Look at that. Boom. And we're in. And good to go. All right, up next, that's not the only VSA. We got VSA number 2. This one was from, by the way, Sworn to Justice, 1996, same year as Freeway. So a lot of 90s movies coming out this past month from Vinegar Syndrome. Makes you wonder if that's the future, maybe. I mean, the 80s stuff has been pretty well mined by boutique companies over the years. I mean, there's still a lot of stuff that hasn't been released, but some stuff may be just unreleasable, you know, because of rights or other issues or whatever that, you know, what we've got is what we've got. I'm sure they'll keep looking and stuff, but in the meantime, you know, well, let's give you some 90s stuff. And how about some 70s stuff, like Santo versus Dr. Death. This one's from 1973? 1973. So this is the second VSA in like 3 months that is from the 70s. What was it? Moon of the Wolf? About 2 months back, a couple months back, was a 1972 TV movie that they released onto the VSA line. So here's a look at the back. The case, the back of the case. I don't know why I feel like I got to tell you, because you can see it if you're watching. But, you know, I'm an old school radio guy and I worked in TV. And so dead air is just something that my mind doesn't appreciate. Okay, there's the disc. And the reversible art, which mimics the hard case slipcover. And of course, there's a poster in there too. All right, let's see if we can put the Santo versus Dr. Death back into its case. I got my piece of paper. Stick the piece of paper over the Blu-ray and bada boom. Pull the paper back out and we're good to go. Now, I was always able to actually put those back in by just kind of pinching the sides of the, you know, like just put some pressure on the sides here. Well, down here, I guess. Just kind of just gives it that little bit of, and I was always successful with it. But then about 10 VSAs or 12 VSAs in, I just had trouble getting one in, and I just kind of mangled up, not super bad, but just mangled up a little bit the plastic on the case. And so I just said, oh, I'm gonna try that paper thing. And it's so easy and so simple and works so well that I'm like, why even mess with trying to, you know, risk it? So, not that you can't order a new plastic case, but I don't want to be ordering new plastic cases. So, all right, that's all the Vinegar Syndrome stuff. Now we've got partner label stuff. First one up, I've been meaning to get this one. It's been on my wish list for a long time, and it is Video Violence. This is the Snuff Collection, and by collection, it collects Video Violence 1 and Video Violence 2. I believe 1987 and 88, I think, and these were shot on video films. And Terror Vision is the distributor of this one, a Vinegar Syndrome partner label. So this is the kind of a nice, what do you call it, outer hard case. And then there's the slip cover that comes out of that. So there's the slip cover. And we'll take this out. Make sure take a look at what I'm looking at. Too Violent to Rate. There it is. Video Violence. Now you may recall I just said that Vinegar Syndrome only releases films shot on film, not on video. But their partner labels are not technically Vinegar Syndrome. Sometimes it seems like people get that confused online. Vinegar Syndrome really is just sort of the distributor. They help get the films out there and get the films into people's hands, and they help boost the audience for these smaller labels like Terror Vision to get their stuff out. So it's like an affiliated company or whatever. There's the discs. It's a really nice set for something like this when you think about it. Old school shot on video. Slip case. Slip cover, I should say. And a slip case. Boom, this is protected. You just need to put it in a safe now, and everything will be even more protected. All right. Up next, to finish it out, I've got a handful of titles from one of my favorite small labels, who's also a partner label to Vinegar Syndrome, and that is Culture Shock Releasing. Up first, from 1987, we've got, let's see if I can show it, Streets of Death. So I can show you the front, but I can't show, well, I can show you the back. I just have to do one of those. There's the back of the slipcover. Nice slipcover on Streets of Death. And there's the case. What am I showing you here? I guess it's all right. Open it up. There's the disc. And the reversible art is the same art that's on the slipcover. So that is Culture Shock number 1 of 4 that I have in this batch. Up next, from 1988. Can you tell I'm an 80s fan? I really am a student, whatever, fan of 80s culture, style. The movies, the TV, the music, and everything else. I like other eras too, but the 80s are my favorite. So anytime there's something from the 80s I can get my hands on, I tend to try to get it. So whatever you call that, 80s culture, 80s fandom. Look at me, I'm bumping my chair back up. There you go, I'm taller, walking tall again. Okay. The joke's on you. We've got the American Scream. Very patriotic title. It's a tradition. Spine, I'm not showing you all the spines, but there's so much to see with these releases because slip covers and reversible art and everything else. There's the art, regular art. Back of the case. And the disc. And the reversible art. Even more patriotic. Got some American flaggage in there. Looking forward to watching, well, all of these really. I got so much in my unwatched stack, and I try to watch at least one movie a night, and if I can get in more, I try to get in more, but I also like watching TV, so it's like some nights are just episodes of a TV show I'm trying to get through, and so it's tough being a fan of vintage media. You can't ever see it all, you know. All right, 2 DVDs from Culture Shock to finish things off. The first one we've got is Goodnight, God Bless. which comes from 1987, 92 minutes. AKA, this was called something else too, Lucifer, AKA Lucifer. So there's the regular case art. And on the reversible art to the case, it has its AKA name of Lucifer up there. And a nice little insert. It's a little booklet that looks like shaped like a Daily Sun tabloid. With some information, so that'll be fun to take a look at when I get around to it. One more. We're just about done. So I've only taken up about 20 minutes of your time tonight. My goal is always to make these videos around 8 minutes, and they're always way longer. Even when I'm just reviewing one movie, I think I just go off on too many side tangents, and so now I'm up to like 21 minutes. So what does it matter, right? You know, we might as well just talk for the next hour, right? Okay, the last one we've got. This is actually from Verboten Video, which I believe was Culture Shock Releasing's name before they changed it to Culture Shock, or maybe Verboten was a company that merged with Culture Shock, or maybe it's a company that Culture Shock acquired. My guess, though, is that Verboten Video was Culture Shock before it was Culture Shock. But if you know, drop that in the comments, because I'd be interested to know. I haven't investigated that. So, all right, we've got on DVD, Holy Moly. This is one of the really early releases from Verboten Video / Culture Shock. It's from 1991. It's a shot on video, it looks like. There's the disc. And are these reversible art? No. And so a few of these, in fact, both of these DVDs they were super cheap during the Black Friday sale on Culture Shock's page at the Vinegar Syndrome website at vinegarsyndrome.com. So I threw these in there. I think also they were really cheap, but also they were very low. The stock was very low. And so I thought, well, you know what? I better just pick these up because they're in my era that I enjoy, and so might as well knock them out now. So there you have it. Tons of releases from Vinegar Syndrome, Culture Shock Releasing, and Terror Vision from the 2022 November Black Friday sale at Vinegar Syndrome. So hey, I'll be back with another haul video real quick and I'll see you then.